Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? Hope you can see me well. Hope you can hear me well. Awesome. Can you please put some comments in chat or pluses if everything is good and if other rooms are also ready to go? As far as I know, we have a few languages available for today's session. It's English, Russian, Spanish, Hindi, and Italian. So I hope that all rooms are ready. Please, admins, let me know, and then we shall start. Hello, Chris, Sharon, Laura, Bob. Nice to see you guys. Awesome. Please do let me know, guys, if other rooms are ready. So then we shall start.
We are ready.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Olga. Well, today we have a very interesting day. It's day number 2. We call it effective communication. But before we go into the topic and dive deeper, let's go for the next slide. I will first introduce myself. For those who are here for the first time, and please put plus if you have here a person who attended the trainings like this for the first time in our company. My name is Mila Serdzikova. I've been in a business for over 70 years now. I've been involved in the corporate, but my passion comes from doing the trainings and sessions like this. I like to work with the people. I came with the idea of learning about financial investment literacy, to be involved in the projects which can in one day change the world. And I believe that in the mission we have, which is new economic evolution of the world, where we unite people under opportunity of being a client of awesome projects which we have in our ecosystem, being able to build a business, entrepreneurship. And this is the reason why we have this training, is for those who decided to build a business. And number 3 is co-ownership, of being co-owner of the projects we have. So these 3 blends into one. We call it MLCI, multi-level crowd investing. But we're doing all this because we want to empower people. We want to really see the big difference by helping people to grow, to fulfill their dreams, and to be who they like to be in this life. At the end of the day, it's all in our hands, and what we create inside us will project what we see outside of us. So that's why I'm a big believer of this. I've been an international speaker and been traveling the world with this company, has helped many companies and many leaders to grow, and I hope that we're going to have many more new people coming to this webinar. I can see in English room we have Hannah Bass. Welcome to today training. I hope you enjoy a lot, and greetings to all new people, because it's important, guys. We do this for you. Of course, leadership and leaders who already been in the company, you're more than welcome, because the more we learn, the more we repeat, the better we become it. But I want to just emphasize one more time that this series of trainings, specifically, it's there for helping to grow new people. Each day we learn new skill, and when you will combine all these 5 skills together, you will see how magnificent your journey of the entrepreneurship could be, how much you can achieve. And this is only beginning. We're talking about only entry-level training, and we have much more to offer. Let's go to the next slide. Very quick one, a disclaimer about information about the training. That's whatever you hear on this training specifically, it does not aim to give you any financial or investment advice. All information is given for illustration purposes only, and it's up to you what you use and what information you're taking into consideration. But what I can say from my side, let's go to, actually, let's stay for this one. I've been on the training like this years ago. My first training was MLCI. That time it was a different name for this, but it was the same idea of providing opportunity of new people, newcomers, to build their organization. And I was so skeptical. I was very new. I didn't know much about network marketing industry, referral industry. And for me, it's all was like not what I really wanted. But I've been curious and I wanted to see what this training can offer me. Actually, I had, and I still have, very big background in sales and marketing. My degrees in business and public relations, so I know how important it is to become entrepreneur if you want to fulfill your own dreams. But I never really was sure that MLM, that the network marketing is the right way for me. But the biggest takeaway was that this is only industry that we're helping other by helping ourselves. I'll give you an example. In traditional sales, I worked day and night. My shifts were really long, sometimes 12, 14 hours, because it was commission-based work. And I knew that the more I will do, the more money I will earn. And that's pretty much it. This is where motivation has stopped, you know. But in MLCI, we have a beautiful concept that you are helping other people to become successful if you would like to be successful yourself. But at the same time, you're not dependent on somebody else. It's you, the one who built your own business. Just think about it. You're the one who can decide how many hours you put on this business. You can decide wherever you want to do this, locally or globally. You can decide how much money you would like to make. You can decide how many hours you want to put on each day, and pretty much you acting as your own boss. And this really opened the eyes when I learned about how we can effectively help other people to become successful ourselves. If what I'm saying is resonating with you, please put some plus in chat, because for me, the training like this was actually a realization when I understood that this industry, it's all about people. It's all about people, but yet you're the one who in control of your destiny, because you're the one who attract, who create, who inspire, who add value. And it's only up to you, whether you will be successful or not. But in this business, we're helping others. We are giving the hand of help everybody who are hungry, who are seeking for new opportunity. Let's go to the next slide. So I hope that yesterday's session about dreams and goals really make you excited. Can you please put from 1 to 10 in chat, where 1, it was average, 10, it was fabulous, that you really enjoyed this session and you really took something important for yourself yesterday. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I can see some 11, 11, 10 in the English room. I hope in other rooms can also share the feedback. And I would like to ask one person, if you have the brave enough person in English room or any other rooms who would like to turn on the mic, and if you can, turn on the camera. I know it was not expected. And to share what you can see on the screen. We have 4 little questions, which I believe will help you to learn something extra about yourself, but also to help other people to recap what was yesterday. Sharon, I can see your hands up. Please welcome moderators. Please make Sharon active so she can turn her mic and or camera and share this 1, 2, 3, 4 points. Sharon, let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, great. I think I am just connected.
We lost you. I cannot hear Sharon anymore.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. Geez, I wasn't expecting to be on camera, so I'm a bit, it's my home attire. Thank you, Mila, for asking. And I'm always the first to put my hand up because I get so excited about these trainings. I actually love them. I don't know how many I've done now, but every year it's really good to refresh and come back to looking at, your goals, your hopes, your dreams, writing your vision and your mission statement, and really just refining all those things. And as we grow and change, our goals and dreams change, and we, of course, achieve some of those things along the way. And so we have to make new goals. So constantly we're, creating. And that's what I love about this community, is that we get to create it together. So for those who don't know me, my name is Sharon Fairfall. I live in Perth, Western Australia. I am a vice president in the company and also a global top leader for Australia and Oceania region, which I love, and representing our people, helping everybody to, solve their problems. Not that I'm, looking at problems, but, we look for the solutions and how we can fast track everything to help everybody, to get along quicker and, to keep moving forward. So my homework that I did, because I've done the dream boards and, all these things so many times now, but one thing I wanted to do was to revisit my letter to myself, writing a letter to myself 5 years from now. Should I read it to you, or should I keep that private? What do you think? Is it something I should share?
Sorry, I lost some camera connection for some reason. Well, if you can, please read it if you feel like you would like to do this.
Okay, I'll share briefly. This is a draft, so it's by no means finished, but at least I've made a start, and I did it very late at night, so I'm reading it for the first time to see what I wrote. So my letter to myself, who I am in 5 years from now, I wrote, "Dear Sharon, well done. You have overcome all of the tests, trials and challenges. You are an amazing, healthy, wealthy and wise woman. Congratulations on achieving all your goals and dreams. And it's so good to see you living in your dream house with your extended, supportive family all around you. And you are finally able to declutter your life and live free and easy with the best of everything easily available and accessible to you. So having a switched on professional and personal team to assist in every aspect of your business and your personal affairs is a great achievement. Well done," smiley face. "The right people at the right time have appeared as if by miracles, and divine grace was handed to you by divine design and supernatural favor. Your health is the best it has ever been, and no more aches and pains in your body, and your body resembles a fantastically fit 25-year-old. I know that's a big ask. I'm having fun. "Your skin, hair, eyes and nails look like a supermodel. It is incredible that you have found the fountain of youth and restored your natural beauty and good looks. Your family has increased in number, and the generational wealth legacy you have in place is to be admired. Your children, grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren, etc., for many, many decades to come, will continue to benefit from your wealth and wisdom for all eternity. Your name and face will be revered for centuries and be so well known for your humanitarian and charitable works for saving and helping children." That's it. That's what I got so far.
Wow, Sharon. Big applauses. It's amazing. Thanks a lot for sharing this with everybody. Guys, put some reaction in chat. It's amazing. Like, it's full of heart. It's full of you. It's you, Sharon. And the amazing thing about this, when you read it, I don't know how other people, but I really picture like everything what you said. And this is like in the universe, we send the energy to you, wish to support it. So the more people aware about this, the more energy this letter will have. So by sharing now with the 4 languages, it's really powerful statement to make.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mila. So my aha moment was really just to come back to center. And I was thinking, how do I fit another training in? I'm so busy. And I was sort of like, I just need to, diarize and, get my calendar better and get my timekeeping better. But I thought, no, we've actually got to stop and write and create. And I love what Amans was saying yesterday, about writing. It's so important. Like, I wrote that with my hand, and often I type everything, but these kind of letters, you really need to write it, and you need to feel it as you're writing it. So my recommendation to others is to write it with your hand and to really feel it and be inspired and create the life of your dreams.
Absolutely. Wow. Wow. Cool. Thanks a lot. And the last question, what would you recommend to another people? Maybe they have started yet, they have not started the writing the letter or any other exercises. What would you really recommend them to do?
I would say if you haven't already done your dream board, that's the first place to start. And to start to, dream again. I love that dream video. It really inspires you to think outside the square and to create. And just remember that you are a creative being, that what you're speaking, what you're writing, what you're doing is a creative force. And you have the power to live the life of your dreams if that's what you want to do. And once you know what you want, you can have it. So you need to decide, like you said. Just make a decision, and don't worry about all the other things around you, the busyness of life and all of the pressures and all of the things you have to do. You do need to take some time out and work on yourself. And of course, what Andre always says, we're getting better and better. And that's a progressive thing. We have to keep working at it.
Absolutely. Well, thanks a lot, Sharon, for sharing with us your amazing essay, like your letter to yourself and your aha moments. What do you set recommendation? I feel like I should pass the floor to you and also, become one of the participants, because the wisdom you have, it's so deep. And you've been such a big support to the company, such a big support to the community. So thanks a lot. And I really appreciate you at the bottom of my heart, everything that you do. It's for people like you. We keep moving and keep creating different, like trainings, instruments to really making sure that we stick to our mission. And I wish all the best, and hopefully to see your statements, which you mentioned, to become true, to become to reality very, very soon.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mila.
Thank you, Sharon. See you. Well, you see how, guys, amazing it is. And put plus in chat if you feel like it's very useful to have a communication like this, when we each take a little bit of time to share, to give our own feedback and aha moments, because once you learn this at home, you can have one experience. But when people who are learning together with you, sharing their feedback, it's completely different. And sometimes it could be even more valuable than all the theory that you learn during the training. But it was amazing. Thanks a lot, Sharon. Let's go to the next slide. So our agenda today, it's go through the basics of communication first. We will talk about never-ending contact list, how to create the contact list. We will talk about how to create the message of having maximum impact, because their message itself and how you're dealing with the clients, with the prospects, what are your listening skills and building rapport skills. These are essential for having excellent communication skills. Also, we will briefly talk about objections handling, and we will see if we're going to have a time for role-playing scenarios. If not, we will turn it maybe into the homework, or it's also could be done online in the groups. But without further ado, let's go to our first topic. Basics of communication. So communication could be divided into two main areas. It could be verbal and non-verbal communication. Like Jim Brown said, that effective communication is 20% of what you know and 80% of how you feel what you know. And this two way of communication, it's only proof that it is not just about the words itself, but communication goes much more deeper than that. Let's have a look what exactly are two aspects of the communication. First, we have a verbal communication, which is very obvious, and this is something we use on a daily basis, which means we use our words, clear and concise language. We use the specific tone of voice. It could be more softer, it could be more harder, it could be excited, it could be like low voice, tone of voice. And we also use our pacing and volume. So how fast we can talk or how slow we can talk, how high we can talk, and how little we can whisper. It all depends who we're talking and how we're talking and what is our message. But we can play any role we would like to play when we're talking to the prospects, to people, to our siblings, because it's us in our way of communication, which really makes us very unique. But communication doesn't stop on the words. Communication goes beyond to non-verbal aspects, such as body language. What is your facial expressions? Are you smiling when you talk? Like, are you using your eye contact, or if you are saying yes, do you nod your head, or are you concise with your communication? And also your hands. I'm a big lover of moving hands, and those of you who see me speaking on live events, you probably notice that I use a lot of movements with my hands, because it's also part of my body language. And not just the hands, it's everything. It's the way how you stand, the way how you smile, the way how you have yourself in front of the other people. So the body and facial expression, this is what people look at you from the outside. And I'll give you example. So if you turn the volume completely down and you don't hear me, all what you will see is my body language and my facial expression. So the verbal communication can completely be taken off, and you still can understand on your subconscious level if you like that person and if you feel like the information is important to you or not. Put plus if you agree with me. Do this little experiment. Turn any YouTube video without the volume and have a look at the person who talks from that video. And like with 99%, you will know if this is something you would like to hear or not, even though you didn't hear the verbal communication from that person. But this is how it works. So nonverbal communications, they actually much more powerful than the words itself. But also visual aids, it's part of the nonverbal communication, which means that we can use different slides like during this training, or it could be a drawing board, it could be any material which we use to support our communication. So my question to you, which one out of this communication you believe it's important to build successful business? Give me some suggestions. Verbal or non-verbal? Which one do you think it's the important to have to build MLCI or any other business, pretty much? Okay. I can see a few answers in the English room. 50-50, both verbal and verbal, both. Let's go to the next slide. It's actually suggestively to use, of course, both. Because when you are using only one type of communication, you're verbal, and you stand like this, you're freezing, your face is like no emotions, nothing, then person probably will find either boring to listen to you, or more likely it will look very weird. And it's very unlikely that the person will hear you longer than 3-5 seconds. But at the same time, if you have a beautiful expressions, if you are smiling, if you're all over the place with the slides and everything is perfect, but your voice is really loud and squeaky, that is also very unlikely that the person will hear you till the end. So that's why it's so important to combine these two strategies, verbal and non-verbal communication, to making sure that you use both of them to really find yourself, whatever that your tone of voice is, whatever that's your eye contact and body language, wherever you use some slides or not, whatever you low voice or you make the voice down when you speak, find yourself. but use combination of both to really make your communication much more effective. Because then once you use this too, people will be willingly listening you longer because you will engage with them. At the end of the day, one of the secrets of being effective in communication, it's engage with the people, it's building the rapport, which we will talk about today as well. So a few strategies which I recommend you to use for effective communication. First, consistency. Making sure that you use both of the verbal and non-verbal to really put your message across, to really be able to transform your message to the person so he or she gets what you wanted to explain, or what is your point. Practice and awareness. Make sure that you practice your communication skill. It's one of the really important skills to make, because at the end of the day, your presentation could be perfect, your slides could be full of all important information, but if you cannot communicate, if the way how you talk, it doesn't resonate with the person, whatever it's a verbal or non-verbal reasons, then people will not be listening to you. So it's not about what information you give, it's about how you put in the message across. So the practice is very crucial. I remember myself when I started my journey on becoming an international speaker, and I'm still learning. I believe the life, it's, you know, like we are students for entire life. I attend so many courses. One of the courses was in London, UK, and we've been given a practice where we need to talk to ourselves in the mirror as if we're talking to the client, so we can really see you, like you can really see yourself. And for me, this exercise was really like had a very wow effect, because for the first time ever, I actually realized how I look when I speak. And also another level of this exercise, which I recommend, is actually not just using the mirror, but record yourself. Because when you hear yourself talking, it's different from what people hearing you talking. So that's why when you have a recording of your sessions, whatever it's the short session or the entire webinar, you can always reflect. You can always have a look what could be done different. And sometimes these little alterations will make a big difference at the end of the day. And last but not the least, it's feedback. So feedback could be trusted colleagues or mentors, or somebody who's there with you, maybe your friends or family, somebody who can communicate and give you the feedback in the correct form without putting you down. And we will talk about feedback as well in one of the sessions, how to provide the feedback. And who can guide you to become better, because at the end of the day, we're talking about skills. So everything what you will learn during these 5 days, it's not something we are magically born with. Yes, some people could have better communication skills like at the early stage, but for majority of the people, and for even those who are good at school, let's say at communication skill, they still need to practice at the early stages to develop the skill, because if you don't practice this skill, it will fade away. So therefore, having the right feedback from the mentors or from the person maybe who invited you to this company, who already has done so many presentations and meetings, it's very important, because they can guide you, they can show you what could be changed or maybe alter a little bit in order for you to become an effective communicator. And if you want to go to the next level, I always recommend to go for some professional courses if you want to see yourself on the big stages, if you want to travel the world, and if you want MLCI career be your full-time involvement, then there are definitely opportunities for people who would like to be speakers, people who would like to be like presenters of the projects on the big stages and live events. So the opportunity is there. And for people who are hungry for this opportunity, would like to really go beyond kind of beyond the basics level, there always a room for improvement. Let's go to the next slide. So now we learn about a little bit what could be two ways of what are the two effective communication aspects. Now let's talk about who shall we practice this communication? Where do I find the clients? And who would be my first clients to start a building business with? So never-ending contact lists. It's their technique which you can use on pretty much any business. And people who said that they don't have people to talk to, this objection will be handled right here, right now, because we always have people to talk to. The people is around us. People are everywhere. If we cannot see each other in the same room, it does not mean that we don't have tools today to reach people. In fact, we have today hundreds of different ways of approaching people. There are tons of different groups, social media, which allow you to tap into millions of people potential. So first, you need to be able to build your own list. The first people who I built my client list was the people who I know from my university, from my family members, so people who I contact on a regular basis, and these are usually the first people who we practice on. Because they're easy, they're reachable, more likely they will listen to you at the end of your pitch, and they will be able to give you some feedback. Not all feedback will be useful, because I don't know how in your family, but in my family and friends, I had a few really big skeptics who told me from my first pitch to them that no, Mila, don't do this, you will regret. But hey, 7 years after, I never regret it even for one day. But it's allowed me to practice, and practice is important. So the step one, make a list, and you make the list and make it comprehensive as possible. Every person you can think of, your friends, your family, people that you think could be maybe your extended family members, but somebody who you can easily to reach because you have the direct contact. This will be your first touch in the contact list. Second touch will be the second degree list, which means it's friends of your friends. And this would be people who maybe you've seen sometimes, but you don't have yet a good relationship with them, but you know them, they know you, they have seen it. Maybe you had a together party, maybe you've been invited to some events where you can see these people. So they are much more extended circle, and you should have more people like this because they will be referrals from your first circle, from your family members. Step number 3, again, you expand it even further. So you go to it's called active candidate list. That's your idea is to put contact lists which will never finish, because as I mentioned before, there is always enough people to talk to. It's just different ways and tools which we can use to reach them out. But step number 3 would be to go beyond and go to the people from different groups. I'm sure you all have a few Telegram groups already, Instagram, you might have a Twitter account, you might have a Facebook, you might have WhatsApp. So all these social media channels allow you to capture people from specific groups, capture people from the different sources, so you can expand your contact list. And this will be the third wave of the contacts, which people you might never seen in your life, but the people who have similar interest, that you have something in common. Maybe there's a group, maybe you have a common love for pets, maybe you are part of the entrepreneurship group, maybe you have you finished one school together, but there is something which there for you in common, and more likely it will be some area of the interest. And today, with the world of booming with blockchain technology, crypto, business entrepreneurship, it's so much to explore. And if you are today attending this training, then even the training itself, like effective communication, what we learned today could be the area of interest from which you can find new contacts. And step number 4 will be networking on purpose when you attend in specific events, live or online, in fact. I love this step specifically, number 4, network on purpose, because this is how I started the business. So I had my first list with their friends and family. Then I had expanded the list to their friends of the friends of friends who I seen a few times in life, but it's not that very close contact to me. And then I actually skipped the step number 3. I went to first step number 4, and then I did step number 3, because for me, live events are really the place when I can connect with people. For me, I prefer to do live face-to-face trainings rather than online trainings, because I like to feel people. I really like to be in a room when we have a session together, when we can discuss, we can talk, maybe we can do exercise together, we can have a lunch together. I remember these endless conferences in London where we sat on the floor and ate a quick snack because we were looking forward for the next session. But I have built my network leaders out of the live conferences. These are my first level people who are who build their business together with me. Many of them I have found through the events, because events, this is straight away the place when you know like-minded people will come. If we have an event which called How to Become Entrepreneur, I know that the people who come for this event, and specifically if they purchase ticket for this event, this will be those who wanted to become entrepreneur, because that's why they here in the first place. So for me, every single person on that room is my potential client, my potential business partner. So that's why networking on purpose and attending the live events or online events could be one of the biggest source network step. At least should be sorry, I think I lost connection. Can you hear me now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. Sorry. You see, when you're so excited and passionate about what you talk, the computer doesn't work properly. I hope it will not happen again. What I was saying the last when I get disconnected, and I will just summarize quickly, that our client list, it shall never end. It's not an exercise which you do only once and you forget about this. Think about traditional business. Let's say you have a coffee shop. I like drinking coffee, so it's always the topic I compare. So imagine you have a coffee shop. Do you think it will be enough to serve 5-10 clients? I don't think so. You would like to have more clients. You would like to have clients coming every single day. You would like to clients start inviting other clients because your coffee is damn good, and you wanted to entire city come to your place to drink the coffee because you have amazing product to offer. Same in the business MLCI. We have amazing product to offer, and it's our duty to really making sure that we can reach people all over the world. So how come our contact list will ever finish if there are billions of people all over the world who need to know who we are and what we do, who are looking for the businesses, who are looking for the income, who are looking to be associated with the amazing company with a pure mission. So that's why make sure that you use these 4 steps to expand your client list, that you never do the client list once and forever, that your client list should develop because you will be developing. And just for comparison, for those people who are been in the business for a while, I can challenge you, if you compare your first contact list with the last contact list, the type of people you're communicating with, it will be a black and white. I have a good example of my dear friends, Armand Morniak, who's been yesterday the speaker, and I see him also today in chat. Like, I've been one of the contacts at their initial stages. So he talked to the people like me, you know, who were hungry for the business. And today, this guy, he talking with sheikhs, and he been invited to the palaces. So it's completely different level, you know, to communicate with the people who are there, your first contacts, and communicating with the people who are royal families. And why he managed to achieve such an upgrade on his contact list, on his skills, because he never stopped like developing himself. So that's why your contact list will grow together with you. And if you finish the contact list and you don't update the contact list, then you just stuck on that level because you're not challenging yourself to go further. So let's agree on this one. For new members, that you will start doing the contact list from the day one, and you will expand this contact list. And with the existing leaders, that you will keep updating your contact list and expand it to the next level, so you can really reach entrepreneurs, you can reach the people who are maybe already managing some companies, have a lot of influencers who are there to bring many people together with them. Armand put the message that my contact list doesn't have active 99 of my friends anymore, but I have tons of extraordinary people in contact list. This is exactly the point I wanted to make. So when you start the business, it all started with you, with your close circle. And let's go to the next slide. But when you're growing and you reach certain positions, you will see how this will change. That's your contact list, and the people who will communicate with, effectively communicate with, will be external people, not internal, not hot market. So the 3 very quick on, very 3 ways of how your contacts could be divided. You have hot, warm, and cold markets. Hot markets, pretty much people close to you, your friends and family, people who you know, people who you can just send the message and you know that they will read it. They will reply, if not the same day, but sometimes, but you have the contacts, the close circle of yours. Warm market, these are the people who, the friends of the friends, or recommendations which you might see in your life, maybe have not seen it, but somebody recommend. It's also count as the warm market connection. And the cold market, this will be the people who you reach. So it's social network, YouTube, internet publication, networking events, conference gatherings, and etc. So everybody who are outside of your comfort zone, we call it cold market. And the outside of your comfort zone, this is where the magic is happening. So it's always amazing to see how people start building this business first, working with a hot and warm market to build up the skills, and go to the cold market to try to find people outside. And this is how your comfort zone will shift. And to be honest, I know the examples of the people who never worked with a hot market, who straight away went for either warm or cold from the day one, because some hot market could be like such a fire market that you go to them and they will try to tell you that it's a bad idea, it will never work, and you need to avoid these people, especially at the beginning of your entrepreneurship journey. Don't let anybody opinion to become your reality. This is one of my favorite quotes of all time by Les Brown, and this is so true, that sometimes your warm and hot markets, people who you love the most, can bring lots of damage. Not because they don't believe in you, not because they don't want you to be happy, but because they love you too much. So they don't want you to be hurt. They don't want you to be disappointed if something doesn't work. They want you to be safe, to have a safe job, to have a good education, to play safe. And sometimes for entrepreneurship, this is the biggest trap, because all your dreams and goals will not be in your comfort zone. If you really want to make your dreams into the reality, you need to go out of the comfort zone. So you need to learn to challenge yourself. And it's good to be in uncertainty, because this is the place where the magic is happening. So that's why my little advice or tip, you can go straight away for the cold market if you feel like your hot market could not serve you. Or you can start with a hot market first if you feel like the people around you will support. Whatever that you choose, there are different strategies. It will work. It will work both. And I know plenty of people who started with a hot market, and I know plenty of people who never talked to their friends and family first. They started with a cold market, they built the business, and only then they come back to the family and say, hey, here I am. I have an on-site business and I want to tell you what it is. So both way will work fine. Actually, out of interest, let's do a little questionnaire. If you first use the hot market and then cold, say hot. If you first use the cold market and then hot, then put cold. I would like to see like what English and other rooms like. Okay, Armand first use hot. Laura cold. Awesome. We have a good mix. Interesting, huh? Majority of people use hot market, and then cold. But actually, the way how it's worked with me, I think I approached my few good friends, and one family member at the beginning. It was 3 people. And then I switched to cold because I understood that it's not yet a good idea. Let me first find somebody who at least wanted to build a business. But hey, as I'm said, it works both ways. Let's go to the next slide. This is just a quick example how your contact list could look like. This could be done online, piece of paper, it's up to you, but this is just a result. This is just example of how this could look like. So you put the name, surname of the person. So how you know this person when you list, it's big. Trust me, it's important to know where you find this person. Telephone, email, date of contact, it's important because when we're going to learn about presentation, there are certain windows of opportunity. It's suggestible to keep making sure that person is still have an interest. So if you talk to the person and you forget about the person for a few months, then it's really unlikely that you would be able to get them involved in a business, because they might be already their desire could be faded away. So therefore you need to understand when you first contacted the people, when you follow up with them, and what was the outcome, which is comments about this, then it's your next touch, and what is the result. For result, we'll have a separate session, which will be the day 5. We will talk about the mindset, but just trust me, at this day number 2, that results, it's important. Whatever it's positive or negative results, it's important. So when you talk to the person and you invite them through the presentation, always put a result of your first meeting, result of your second meeting, and etc. Let's go to the next slide. So now let's talk about how to craft your message to maximum impact. So these are 2 main, I would say, main pillar, which I used a lot in my business, and I know so many people also use it successfully. If you want your message to have an impact to the person, and what does mean impact? That you're not just wasting your words, that whatever that you're saying has an impact on certain person, and this impact could be decision. The impact could be moving to the next meeting. Impact could be having a aha moment. So whatever that's, you reach that person. And sometimes it could be one sentence. Sometimes it's one fact that really make or break deal. So these two aspects are very important. First, it's tailoring your message. It's so crucial to understand who you're talking to. Here, I give you an example. So imagine you are presenting Eversent as a product to two different groups. The first group consists of professionals in perfume business, while the second group is made of parents or people who are looking for additional income stream. What will be your message to the first group of the professionals, perfume professionals, and what will be the message to second group? I can sure that you agree with me that it will be two different messages, because you're talking to two completely different type of people. That's why it's important for you to understand who are in front of you, or who's in front of you, enable to tailor the message, which will be tapping into that specific person needs, to understand their needs, interest, level of knowledge about the products and opportunity you're offering. So the tailoring message is one of the really the most important when you build an impact. I've been witnessing so many presentations where they just been not addressed properly. When people were coming to build the business, and instead of this, they've been spending 1 hour to talk about the product, which they don't even have a necessary passion about. It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of resources. If you have a new person who's coming to you, there are a certain list of questions which I will give you during these trainings, which you can use with your prospects in order to understand what their needs are, what they want to have. Because at the end of the day, each presentation purpose, it's not to sell, but it's to identify people's needs and to give them what they're looking for. So if person looking for build a business, give them the way how to build a business. If person is looking to buy perfume, then give them the way how to buy perfume, and don't give everything in one go, because it's also one of the biggest mistake when the messages is completely mixed. When in one presentation we talk about everything with the new person, and he or she sits in front of you and thinking, oh my gosh, what is just happened? I had this experience myself. I have been witnesses this, like many times, and I'm sure also my early prospects could also think the same, because at the beginning I want to fit everything what is possible in one session, in one presentation, and now and as I grow, I saw that it was one of the biggest mistakes, why I lose some of the good prospects, because instead of their finding out what they want, I was just telling everything I know. And this is the big mistake. The purpose of the meeting is finding everything about the person. He is the reason why you have this meeting, not you who have a desire to turn this client into the prospects, into the businessman. It's always about people who sit in front of you, not about you. And number two, also important tip or aspect of the have an impact is utilizing the storytelling. The storytelling is so powerful, and we have we as a human being, we use our visuals a lot, and it's not even about the words we said. As we mentioned previously, there's so many aspects involved, and one of the biggest aspects is also ability to imagine, use our energy, use all our skills to make sure that person can really see it. Because if you see it, you believe it. If you believe it, you can do it. If you can do it, you will make it. I don't know if this is the correct way of saying it, but I have a goosebumps. Maybe I alter a little bit a region of a quote, but it's definitely, if you can see it, you will believe it and you will make it happen. So the storytelling plays the crucial role in having impact on person. And here we have two types of the storytelling. It could be a customer success story. For example, a person loved the product, a person used the product, and he or she sees the big difference after the product been used. For example, Eversand, it's an amazing product. I use this perfume on a daily basis. I have my favorite ones, and they're always on the desk. So, like, if I feel like I need to have a lucky spray, I always use Everreach. It's #1 is my favorite. We have lots of happy clients stories which you can use. You can show the slides with the worldwide deliveries. You can tell your prospect that, look, the product is there, already been delivered. There are people all over the world, they happily using it because the product is so good. It is so good. And you can add on the top the story of Ramon, the story how he created this sense, which is really unique and amazing. And you also can use business success story for people who wanted to build a business. They need to have a proof. Nobody wanted to be in a business if they're not successful businessmen in a business like created in the first place. So that's why use successful business story, whatever the story of yours or leader which you know, or maybe somebody from another country you know, but make sure that you use your storytelling techniques in order to really show how the business or the product help a person to either have a great success in the business or have a grateful enjoyment with the product itself. But these two types of storytelling types are important. It could be a client success story or the business success story. And when you put this inside of your presentation, depending on who you're talking to, this also will be as a statement of proof. And it's important to have a statement of proof because, again, when people join the business or join the company, they want to be sure that it is not another one-day offer which will disappear, because there are so many scams exist today. There are another company recently get scammed in India, which been working so many years, and many of our leaders, they went there, and today this company like completely shut down, and people they lost the businesses which they built, they lost reputation, and they lost face. So like we need to really showcase our prospects that the business and the products which we have are there, are real. This is all happening here and now. So that's why important to use the storytelling to emphasize and have facts about the company and the business success. So how are you getting so far? I hope it's not too much and too fast. Give me some reaction in chat. How are you guys doing? Great, thank you, Khalid. Awesome, thank you, Laura. Okay, well, I'm happy that you're still with me. I can see lots of hearts and fire in chat. Awesome, thank you. Let's go to the next slide then. So number 4. Listening skills and building rapport. So now let's little bit of summarize. So we learn how to use the basics of communication, 2 aspects. We learn on who we can practice, which is people, where to find them, how to create the list. We talk about how to craft the message and having the maximum impact. And now this it is still within one skill, but now we dive in a bit deeper, listening and building the rapport. So the active listening, it's involved fully focusing, understanding, responding, and remembering what other person is saying. By definition, you have active listening and you have passive listening. The passive listeners, these are those people who sort of, they hear you, but they're not. Like, for example, think about your kid or your partner who watching TV, and you saying something and there is nothing there to respond. Like your words went to the universe, to the silence. This is called the passive listening. One person is sort of there, but they could not even respond, or they respond something like, yeah. And then if you remind them sometimes after, they might not even remember that you have this conversation in the first place. I'm sure many can relate to this. We don't need this type of the communication. We need to build the really good listening skills, because we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. We're here to listen others, to communicate with them better, so we can serve them better. An example, when the potential clients have a concern about a commitment required to build a business, and instead of they just stopping the conversation saying, well, it's maybe not for you, try to really validate their concerns, try to understand what is the reason. Can you explain me what is that you found that you're not comfortable with, or what is that you feel like you maybe it's not what you expect it to be. So like try to really be a good listener, because every single word or feedback what people are giving to you could be used in your presentation in order to make this presentation much more powerful. I have this little practice I would like to share with you, and this will be also covered tomorrow a bit more detail, how to find needs from the potential clients. But put few questions, open questions. What you think, what questions you think you can ask your prospect in order for you to understand them better. What these questions could be. When you will find this question for yourself, and again tomorrow we'll talk a little bit more deeper on this topic, but when you will find out what are these powerful questions, you can use them at the beginning of the presentation in order for a person to open up to you. But most importantly, you can use the answers during the presentations to make greater impact. So if person, let's say, will share that they've been skeptical about online business and they've never been involved into any other businesses apart from a full-time job, then it will be good in your presentation when it comes to the business to start explaining business using his own words. For example, well, like a statistic shown, there are many people who join this business, they never been in network marketing before, and I would say even more like yourself, they've been very skeptical about this industry and they have a fear that it will never work with them. But this statistic shows that the many people who are coming from traditional job background, they're much more effective because they know how to discipline themselves. They know how to work with a certain task and certain like abilities in order for them to be effective in network marketing or in MLCI. So you see, without this coming back to you as objection, you have been using his words on the middle of the presentation and explain in a way that he will never come back to you as objection. But if you didn't, if he will tell you, I'm skeptical about MLM, and you would say, okay, well, many people are, and then you continue to talk like you did not address his issue, and you did not listen his carefully, because if you did, then you would have turned your presentation in a way that your pitch will be answer to his questions. I hope it makes sense. It's a bit more advanced example, but I just want to outline how important you have good listening skills, because at the end of the day, it's all about people. It's all about what they want, and we are there to serve them. And of course, building the rapport. Building the rapport is why people start doing the business together, because they can trust. The rapport means having a trust, having a mutual connection, having something in common. If I trust you, if we have something in common, if we have a mutual connection, I will do the business with you. When Armand did his first presentation, like 5 hours presentation, which I have no idea how we both survived this presentation. You know, I had even more questions than at the beginning, but I knew that we had a connection. And this is only the reason why I stayed for that long. I knew that we have a similar interest because I was looking for opportunities. I was hungry. I was searching. And I feel the trust to him because the way how, with the passion he explained, the way how he showed all these slides and evidences really make me believe, what if this is true? So he built a trust, and these 3 components putting together, we call it rapport. It doesn't happen for the first time. I would be fool to say that, you know, from day one, I knew that it's my company. No, it took me another 6 months after our first meeting, 6 months, and then I only joined the business. But during these 6 months, I was watching, I was listening, we get in contact, we stay together on the phone, on the messages. So like I become the warm market, the warm contact for him. And it was the time when it was decision made from my side, but it took 6 months. So that's why it's important to not just once build a rapport and then you left and you said, okay, I'm done a good job. Yes, you've done a good job, the first step, but the entrepreneurship MLCI journey, it's not a first step journey. It has many, many, many steps, and your success, it's not something which you only do with a one step forward and you're successful. It doesn't work like this. Your road to success will be up and down. It will be deep. It will be good days. It will be bad days. It will be like mix of everything. But as far as you're going through this journey, and as far as you keep on building the good relationship with the people, you will make it. You always will make it if you will not betray your dream, if you will not betray your goals. That is why yesterday was probably one of the most important entire all 5 days. But building the rapport, this is when you invite other people in your journey. When you have other people to join you because they see what you see, they wanted to go with you together, they believe in what you believe, and they open-minded and they happy to be told what to do. So that's why I would say listening skills and building the rapport, these are 2 components of the entire effective communication recipe, which are very important to sustain if you really want create a long-lasting relationship with your clients who will turn into your business partners, who will turn to your good friends. Now let's go to the next slide. So very quickly, what are techniques to active listening and rapport building? So let's have a little bit of practice. So first, reflective listening. So you repeat back what you heard in your own words to show that you're paying attention and to clarify any misunderstanding. Reflective listening, it's a very cool tool, and it's a help to clarify, because sometimes we hear one thing and we think we answering the question, but the person meant completely different. So how reflective listening works is, for example, the person is saying, well, for the last 5 years, I didn't want to be involved in any business because I was so skeptical that nothing is working to me. So now I use reflective listening. Do I understand you correctly? The only reason why you didn't go to the business for the last 5 years because blah, 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 blah. So I return the message back to the person to making sure that I can clarify. These are very good techniques and can be used at any stage of the presentation, but specifically when it comes to them trying to understand is what the person is saying will be stopping factor in the future or not? If the person is asking during the presentation, telling you that, oh, your presentation is great, you don't need to tell them, do I understand you correctly that my presentation is great? No, you don't do these things. You do reflective listening only when it's appropriate and when there is something which you feel like you need to expand, something which you feel like there is much more deeper reasons, and you need to tap into this, because if you don't tap into these reasons, they will slap you back as objections. And we will also talk about this today. Techniques number 2, use open-ended questions. You know that there are 2 types of questions: close-end, which is yes or no, and open-end questions, which could start from when, how, why. So these are questions which allow a person to explain and give you more content, because the content is important to understand people need. So the more open questions you will use in your presentation, the better you will understand what person needs are. Technique number 3, to show empathy, to demonstrate that you understand and share the feelings. For example, if person tells you, well, I've been skeptical about all this side income, you're saying, well, you know, I also felt the same. And there is also one technique which we will also learn, like how to use, and we will learn it today, if you will stay till the end of the session, the little technique how to use empathy method in order to build a rapport. But again, don't overdo it. Empathy is good when it's true empathy. But if the person is saying, you know, oh, I'm so tired because I have like 5 kids and they're driving me crazy, and you said, oh, I understand you so well, I have 3 kids my own, but yourself is single, it's probably not the way, not a good way to show the empathy. It's called, you know, like hiding the truth. Or to make it even more brutally, you just lied to the person's face, which is not good for the business to build a rapport, because sooner or later, specifically if the person will stay in the business with you, they will know everything about you, who you are, what do you do. So make sure that from the day one, when you building the rapport, you showing truly who you are. You don't overdo it. You don't create unnecessary facts which are not true, because sooner or later they will be obvious for that person. Also, good technique to maintain eye contact, which I believe it's self-explanatory. When we talk to people, it's really good to see their eyes to eyes. And if you're saying something but your eyes all over the place, straight away it will look a bit weird, a bit dodgy, because you're either hiding something or you're not sure. But whatever it is, it doesn't look good, specifically for another person. He's watching on that time at you, listening to your presentation and thinking, what is going on? Why this person eyes all over the place? Techniques number 5, mirror the body language. It's these techniques come from NLP, which is the people attracted, the people alike. So if you have somebody who has specific tone of voice, or maybe they have a certain posture, it is sort of advisable to also tune in with this person, to synchronize with this person, so you can build the rapport simply, because we like people alike. Again, not to extend to the level when you use it as manipulation, because it's definitely not the point of pretending. It's point of trying to mirror the person's body language, so you both are feeling like you synchronize. So like if the person is smiling, smile the back. If person is, start using the hands actively, also be involved and maybe start using the hands or whatever, like gestures, because this person, that type of personality, which like to use the body language a lot. So just try to understand who's in front of you, so you can, again, serve them better and build greater relationships. And last but not the least is to practice in scenarios. Engage in role-playing scenarios to practice your communication skills. We talked already about the practice. I hope we all agree that it's important. And practicing scenarios, it could be that you do it with a mirror, you do it with a friend, you do it online on Zoom. Today, everybody have opportunity to have 40 minutes Zoom completely for free. Click recording, start record, you start doing the presentation, and then have a look how you look like during this presentation, and ask somebody else, maybe from the company or somebody who you trust, to give you feedback. This is all like very helpful, especially when it comes to the building rapports with the people, because sometimes you see little things when you look at you outside rather than when you're in that state. And it's very useful to see maybe little things can change in order to make your communication more effective. So the practicing scenario is really important if you want to improve your communication skills in general. So this is some little summary of what are the active listening and rapport building techniques can be used. And if you keep using them, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and on every single meeting basis, you would be able to see a huge result. Let's go to the next slide. So now, remember I promised that we will go through some of the objections handling techniques. Before we go into this, in our business, MLCI, or like any entrepreneurship in general, I want you to remember one thing. Objections are serving you well. To have objection, it's good. Objections can help you to really overcome the obstacle which person might have. If people are not given the objections at the end of the presentation, I will start worrying, because it means either you did not touch them with the right approach, or they don't care, they don't understood, and they just confused, so they just want to go home or whatever they want to go, so they don't even have nothing to ask you. I remember when I started to build the business and I had so many meetings per day, my aim was to calculate how many questions, objections I had during each meeting. And what I realized, the more objections I had, then these people turns to the clients and business more effectively compared to those meetings where I don't have any questions, any objections. And the difference between question and objection, it's simple. The question, it could be something with yes or no, or the questions, it could be something where I just want to have more details. But objections, this is a stopping factor. Like, I will not go further if you don't explain me this, and this is my objection. So this is the difference. Put plus if you understood. So the questions, it's something which person want to know a bit more detail, and maybe it's just yes and no. But objections, this is the obstacle which you need to unpack, which you need to show the person that this is not the case, or this is the case because blah blah blah. So objections, they could be false or true. What I mean by this, sometimes people put in objections not because they think so themselves, but because they just want to ask you something and look at your reaction, what you will do in the situation. In this case, there's recommendation, if people are throwing more than like 3 to 5 objections on you, then it's better to stop them and ask something like this. Hey, Brad, can you please tell me what is really stopping factor for you at the moment? Because I can see you're asking so many different, or you're throwing so many different objections. So I really would like to understand what is the core reason of you not to blah, blah, blah. So it's really important to try to differentiate from the true and from the false objections. The task of the person who's been given objections is to unpack, to show how this objection will not be a barrier, and also to like it says that it's skill that we have to develop and master. Absolutely. So objection, this is something you can work on. There are only some standard objections in our business, which you can learn them by heart how to answer. And people very unlikely will ask you objections which will not be related to the topic. So if you're talking about building the business using a game industry token, which we have as amazing projects to launch in our ecosystem, are very unlikely that people will throw in you objections related to the food poison, because it has nothing to do with this topic. So that's why objections will help you to unpack and tap into what is the problematic areas which person would like to hear answers for. Let's go to the next slide. So the method which I suggest you to use, and I learned this from actually Eric Worre, one of the greatest mentors for network marketing, referral marketing, or any other marketing in general at GoPro event. He shared feel, felt, found method. So this method is very simple, could be used in any situation in life, and specifically with objections handling, it's really useful if you learn this method. So for example, if person asking you, or if objection is business, let's say objection is, I don't believe that MLM business can really be sustainable. I had this objection million of times. So my answer will be, like using 3F method, will be, I understand how you feel. I would say, well, I know how you feel. So I can first, I empathize. I'm not throwing at the person like, oh, this is, like bullshit objection. There is not relevant. Like straight away, if you not recognize the importance of the objections, the person will never do the business with you. In fact, they will never do anything with you because they will not feel like there is connection. So the first F is, yes, I feel. I understand how you feel. I understand how you feel about MLM being not sustainable for the business. Number 2, felt. Tell them something who else felt about the same way initially. You're telling the client that they're not alone, that the things can change. Back to the example. Yes, Bob, I understand how you feel. And I know there are many people who are today leaders in our company. They felt exactly the same way when they build the business. And number 3, this is when you unpackage objection. It's found. What you found. Tell them what was the outcome. One more time. Yes, Bob, I understand how you feel. Number 2, and there are many leaders in our company initially who felt the same way. Number 3, but they have built successful business, and we know the people who become millionaires because of their network marketing. So this business can not just provide you income for the life and not provide you income for the basic needs, but this could provide you income for your lifetime. So you see how I combine these 3 together. I understand. I know there are also people who felt the same way, and they find out that's blah, 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 blah. So this technique, is it hard to remember? Put yes if it is, or no if it's not. I believe it's easy to remember, but it's a matter of practicing to really make it work. Really make it work. Bob, I will send you the link. Like I'm telling you, there are only a few questions the people will ask you, and for that we have a bit more detailed trainings. Again, this training is 5 days and 5 skills, just to tap into initial what it could be. But if you wanted to go deeper, we will have some more deeper sessions, and we have also we used to have lots of live events, and we're planning to bring them back, where on this exercise, for example, we will be developing into the groups and playing the roles, because you need to really practice. Feel, felt, found. It's easy techniques. It's an easy technique, but you need to practice this a little bit. It's, try to use few objections which you might have in your MLCI journey, and try to apply this method to make it more bulletproof, because at the end of the day, these techniques is all about to be in a bulletproof. You don't want to just tell people who saying, oh, you know, MLM is not sustainable. You don't want to say, oh, please, you don't know about Amway leaders, how much money they make. Like, come on, this is lame. You want building, you know, reports, and you want to use facts. You want to use your personality, your examples, your company examples, not to make people feel stupid, but for him to have a relief from his objection, saying, wow, he's right. Yeah, he's right. Well, let me find out a bit more. So this will be the best outcome of this exercise of using 3F method to build in the techniques to overcome the objection, to make sure that people at the end of the presentation, when they ask you these 3 to 4 questions, they feel satisfied, they feel happy, and they feel like they want to continue with you. Then you can tap yourself on the shoulder and say, hey, good job, because I managed to maybe a little bit, but to help person to see alternative way, that it doesn't need to be only good education, you know, work hard 9 to 5. I show them opportunity that it could be something more, and maybe the person will start digging this a bit more detail, and he or she will see the amazing world of opportunities which MLCI has. So use this method, practice this method, and you will see amazing, amazing results. Let's go to the next slide. We don't have much time, unfortunately, left. I promised to keep these trainings no longer than 1.5 hours. So these examples, I would like you to just take the print screen of this. I give you 3 objections, which I believe the most common. I don't like selling. It is not, business is not for me. I have this a lot on my entrepreneurship journey when people are coming back with the objections. I don't like selling, it's not for me. So have a look how this could be answered. Also objection, I don't have money, because it's always in people's minds, if I need to start a new business, I need the money. And usually it is true with the traditional business. You cannot open up your salon, your coffee shop, your grocery store if you don't have the money, because you need to have money to buy the equipment, to buy the products, to have a staff, but not an MLCI. In MLCI, in our business, do you know that you can start the business from scratch with 0 capital? You don't even need to buy the product in order for you to be able to earn the money on that product. This is insane. This is the only one reason, which could be like a closing reason for everybody, for all the skeptical people who say, I don't have money to start a new business. Well, you don't need to have the money to start our business. This is also one of the common objections. And last, third one, I don't have time, which is very common. Very common. People will tell you, oh, I don't have a time, I already have a job, I have kids, I have a dog, I have so many things that I don't have a time. So learn these 3 examples, how you can answer these objections using 3F method, and create your own. These are just examples to be a guidance, but I'm sure you can use your own examples. You can really tailor this objection handling to you, because at the end of the day, people buy from people. When we learn, initially, we take the knowledge from somebody else, from somebody who's our inviter or the mentor, or from the book, but we usually take the knowledge externally first. But when we practice, when we feel comfortable, then we start creating our own way, because we're all different. And the way how I do the presentation, I can give you 100% guarantee is different from how Armand is doing presentation, from how Sharon is doing presentation, from how Khaled is doing presentation, because we're all different, because we all realize who we are. And we've been in the company practicing a lot to find out who we are, so we can attract the right people, and we can put the message in a way that people will get us, and people will attend. And some of the people who attend the Khalid presentation, they will be more excited. Some of the people who attend Armand presentation, they will be more excited. And some people who attend my presentation, they will be more excited. So we are different people. and we attract many different people around us. And that's why it's business for people, created by people. We need diversity. We need everybody's story. We need everybody opportunity to really show the world that we can make a big, big difference. Let's go to the next slide. Next slide, please. 6 role-playing scenarios. Go back to 6 roles. So this is something, it's a play role, which I suggest to take as a homework, play with your friends or with your family member. This actually will take maybe 10-15 minutes. So the scenarios. So you engage in role-playing scenarios to practice your communication skills in a safe environment. You learn how to give and receive constructive feedback to continually improve your communication skills. Remember, we talk on the sessions about having a feedback. So this exercise will teach you how to give a feedback. So it's a bit more advanced level, a bit more leadership level. That's why I want to keep it as the role play exercise for you, but it will be really helpful. So if you get yourself in a group with a person or two, it could be at your home or maybe in the next presentation, and whatever the example you're playing with, it could be introduction to the business opportunity, or it could be storytelling about the business. Like any subject you choose, learn how to give a feedback using these 5 steps. So your feedback should be specific, so you need to be precise what outcome you're addressing or what behavior you're addressing. You need to have a balance in your feedback between being too negative or too positive. If you just tell the person, oh, your speech was rubbish, this is not how you do the feedback at all. So your feedback needs to be balanced and to have objectivity, which is step number 3. So you need to really put your feedback on observation behavior rather than making your personal judgment. So you're not judging that, oh, you've done the storytelling, oh my gosh, this is rubbish storytelling, I don't know where you take the story from. This is the horrible feedback. So you need to make sure that you objectively give a feedback to the person based on behavior rather than your personal judgments. And there needs to be actionable, provide clear guidance how the person can improve. So don't just give a feedback for the reason of feedback. Don't just say, this part could be improved, and stop. So if you say this could improve, give me some suggestions. So how can I improve? So how can I improve and what went wrong? So make sure that in your feedback, you are being specific what areas a person should improve or continue improving. And last one, timely. Have a feedback right away. Don't just wait for a week to tell the person the feedback, but really practice it right away. If person needs your help or somebody asking you to give a feedback, find the time to give a proper feedback using these 5 steps in order for you to be more precise at the feedback. And this exercise will help you to, from one hand, practice skills which we learn above about communication, whatever it's storytelling or introduction to your pitch, have an impact on the message. And number 2, it will teach you how to give a feedback to the people, because today you might need a feedback, but tomorrow when you're going to have a team, you need to learn how to give feedback to them. So take this with you, and when you have a time, have a good play, and you will be surprised to see how many things the people can give you as a feedback. And definitely going to be a good learning curve. Let's go to the next slide. Homework. This will be our last, but not the least, for today is the homework. 4 homeworks for you to do. And please make sure that you share your homework progress in the group. We have a Telegram group. Everybody was added there yesterday. So the homework for effective communication skill day. First, create a product pitch tailored into 2 different audiences, a potential clients and potential business partner. So imagine you have these 2 different people in front of you. One is potential client, who would like to, let's say, an example of our Red Pad game token, who wanted to purchase the package and who wanted to be a client. What would you tell them? How would you start your presentation with them? What is the message you want to put across? And the second will be your potential business partner. So you have somebody who likes to build a business. What message would you put to that person presentation? What aspects would you identify? Homework number 2, use a storytelling to showcase what benefits people can get from MLCI product or opportunity. It could be actually combined with the homework number 1, but when you are explaining people about the product or business, always have a good story at your exposure. Either about yourself if you have, or about somebody else in this business, or it could be anybody outside if you don't have yet enough knowledge to not enough stories to emphasize about this specific business. So the best stories, first about you, second best about people in the organization, and the third base, it's about people outside other companies and other examples. They also could be good base for the storytelling. Exercise number 3, list 5 objections which you might face in MLCI and put how would you handle them. What are the common objections for you and how are you handling them using 3F method. And homework number 4, prepare for the follow participant to engage in a role-playing scenario. This is something we just had in the previous slide. This important exercise to have 2 or 3 people together when you can practice, when you can have fun, receive the feedback and give feedback. It's very important for your MLCI career, for your any entrepreneurship career, to be able to concise the message, but also to give a feedback, which is one level up, but it's important skills, because given the feedback, you will use your listening skills, you will use your building rapport, because the people who you given the feedback, they trust you. That's why they ask you to give them feedback. And you can practice your also communication skills in order to really give and receive and make sure that you can reach the most outcome out of it. Let's go to the last slide. So I would like to congratulate you guys all. Yesterday, 1 skill was unlocked, which is dreams and goals. And let's go to the next slide. And today we unlock another skill, which is effective communication. Let's click again. So with the 5 days, 5 skills, we will unlock one by one each of these golden, I don't know how you call them in English, golden boxes. I'm sure there's another name for this. And by the end of the day 5, you will have all keys, all skills which needed for you to really mastery MLCI at the entry level. Treasure chest. Thank you, Sharon. Treasure chests. You see, I learned today something new. It's always cool to keep learning. So thanks a lot, guys. I'm going to see you in chats. Please discuss your homework. Please discuss the progress of this group. We have so many languages, so many people. I hope you enjoyed today's session, and I will see you tomorrow. New day and new skill. Take care and bye-bye.